It's another week and another opportunity to really update you on good stuff going on across our communities here in Southern Ohio. Beneficial news you can use, as we like to call it. I'm Dan Ramey. He's Mike Smith. And Mr. Hand 2, there he is.
He's got a face today.
Yeah, hanging out in those blossoms there. Must have had something to do with a good weekend.
Maybe.
Yeah.
My hair's a little out of place. I got to fix it.
Mine too.
My hairdresser did a lousy job before the show today.
Well, we begged for a producer for how many years? Now we're begging for a makeup person.
Hair
Is that the deal?
Actually, Aaron his hair's pretty. He could probably do our hair for us.
I don't do anything to my hair. I just brush it when I get out of the shower. That's it.
I do the same thing.
Yeah, Dan has to spend a long time with his hair. Yeah.
Just get right underneath the shower head and then come back out. Yeah, we're good.
Do you put some wax on top of your head so it glistens?
No, not at all. That's natural, baby.
That's just, I got natural oils too, man.
My mother-in-law said, when you stand at the pulpit in church, you just radiate. And it's because we have this light that's over top of our head that comes down on the pulpit, and apparently it's this. And good to have you here with us today. I do my best not to keep God too busy because he has every hair on your head numbered.
That's correct.
And for me, it's not too hard. All right, coming up here momentarily, we'll take a look at news. We've got a look at sports for you, big sports weekend, and also up ahead, the forecast. So let's look right at it.
Yes, sir. Showers possible, mainly in the afternoon, late afternoon. National Weather Service has a category of 5, with 5 being the worst for severe storms. Our area of the Scioto Valley is in a level 2. To the west of us, that's marginal. That'd be level 1. So this could be any time between 3 and 7 tonight. So just keep an eye on that, and hopefully it'll miss the baseball games that are being played today, so we won't have any problems there.
And you're concerned about that because we've got a broadcast this evening.
Yes. And if not today, tomorrow, they tell me. So we'll see.
All right. Big matchup between Unioto and Zane Trace. That's out at the U?
Out at U.
Okay.
Yeah. The Utes. You Utes are out there.
Anything to keep Mike young. Coming up in just a moment to look at news. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you have an issue with any of these portions of your home or your business, they can take care of the heating, the cooling, and the plumbing. Click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it'll take you to their website, AccurateHVAC.com.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old. Haynes Total Healthcare Center. Chiropractic, physical therapy, and nutritional needs have been taking care of this for now more than 50 years. Want to find out more about their practice, meet some of the doctors and all the folks involved, just click on this ad anywhere you see it at littermedia.com, and it takes you to their website, which is hayneshealth.com. While you're at littermedia.com, you'll be able to see some of the stories we'll be sharing with you, and one of those you see right there, Joyce was a wonderful, wonderful individual. Speaking of Joyce Atwood. And that's our lead story for today.
Yeah, one of Chillicothe City Schools' most respected educators for almost a half century has passed away. 81-year-old Joyce Atwood died this past Thursday. She graduated from Chillicothe High School in 1961, and 4 years later, after college, she comes back to Chillicothe as a teacher. She became principal at Mount Logan Middle School in 1987, then promoted to assistant superintendent in 1993. Following her retirement in 2008, she later became Director of Child Development and Family Service Center, Resource Development Director, and Director of Development and Alumni Relations at Ohio University, Chillicothe. The district office administration building is named in her honor. She was also a Kiwanis Statehood Day Achievement Award winner back in 2018 and was also the JC Citizen of the Year. Funeral services will be held 2 p.m. Wednesday at Ware Funeral Home. The visitation will be Tuesday from 6 to 8 p.m.
Kids were her life. She was a member of the Big Brothers Big Sisters board member for South Central Ohio. And back when I danced and Dance for Kids' Sake, the first one we had back in 2012, Lollipop was the song that was used for my dance. And she talked about that for the next 5 years, remembering that particular. But hats off to Joyce. She was a fantastic lady. Not only is the school board office named the Atwood building, but she also was instrumental in the home field grandstand area at the Obadiah Harris Family Athletic Complex and donating money to that. And just a fantastic lady. One of my favorite moments was when we were walking the campus one time. This was shortly into the renovation process for CHS back in, I think they did that in 2003. And Joyce and walking with Roger Crago, who both were in school at the same time. I think she might have been a year or two ahead of Roger. But it was neat to walk with two members of the student body that were kids when they first moved into the school.
Right.
And now here they were helping to orchestrate where things went down the pathways for what we see today. So, again, our thoughts are with the family members and everybody in Cavalier Nation for the passing of Joyce Atwood. Also, over the weekend, it was a lot of fun out on the roadways of Ross County, 150 miles of roadway, and this is the Buck 50. We see some of the runners here that were going out and about. Very successful weekend. Everybody had a good time, except for one van. There was a van fire overnight. I don't know if it was just a random van or if it was one of the team's vans. Not real sure how that worked out.
I think it was a team van.
Was it a team
But
van?
they were all okay.
Okay. Now, no injuries in that regard, but that's probably one of the most traumatic things that's happened during all of this. But here you see the runners finishing up their 150-mile trek, and members of the MAID program there to award them with their medallions. And there you see the map on the back of the T-shirt there. Looks like a European country of some sort, when it's all laid out. But great job, everybody. And I think everything I've read on Facebook from everyone posting things, it was a very rewarding experience. And if you've never done it, you got to do it. That's the one thing they keep saying. So I don't think I could run in it. I might be able to drive a van in it as long as it doesn't catch fire.
I drove the van one year.
Did you drive the van?
I drove a van.
Is that right?
It was fun. It was tiring, but it was fun.
There's a lot of
Tiring riding.
hurry up and wait, so to speak.
Yes, because you drop a runner off, and then you drive to the next checkpoint, and then you just wait for the next runner to be done.
Gotcha. But then you have if you saw the vans and people had markings on their windows and everything, and you see these little check boxes, it's like, okay, I did my leg.
Did that one.
And then, about an hour and a half later, and maybe they check another one off, whichever the case may be. So,
City of Chillicothe is taking steps to enhance traveling safety here in town. They've installed what's called speed humps on Pawnee Road and South Watt Street. Unlike speed bumps, which are shorter and more abrupt, speed humps are longer and have a gentler slope. This design makes speed humps less jarring for vehicles at low speeds while still requiring drivers to slow down. If you want to find out the maps, at the exact locations you can go, see this. For those on our radio listening right now, you can't see this. Go to our website, story@littermedia.com, and it'll give you the exact location.
I can't help but think that despite the fact it's to slow things down, I could see someone like A.J. Good and his motorcycle trying to go from one hump to the other hump and see how that works
I wonder
out.
if this would be a part of the road rally.
No. No, I'm pretty sure it's not going to be.
Okay.
There's a different location for tonight's Chillicothe City Council meeting. They are moving it over to the Ross County Service Center in the conference rooms C and D, which they are. They take a divider wall out. Next thing you know, you got one big room there. That's at 7 o'clock tonight, so to make room for the audience to attend. Third reading ordinances include a request to approve a 0.2% levy renewal for street paving, along with an ordinance to prohibit camping within city limits. And this has been one of those hot-button issues. A lot of people have been very vocal about it at previous meetings, so they decided to get a larger area for this meeting. It's at the Ross County Service Center this evening.
Easter Seals is holding a food drive to fill local blessing boxes. If you would like to help them in their efforts, you can drop off donations at 1855 Western Avenue between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Congratulations to Pickaway Ross Career Technology veterinary assisting students and their successes at the HOSA State Leadership Conference. Haley McBee brought home first place in veterinary medical terminology, and Raina Carter and Lily Nye place in the top 10. Congratulations, kids.
The Ohio History Connection and its partners, including the Northwest Territory Museum Society and the Washington County Public Library, held a groundbreaking last Friday for the new Ohio River Museum on Front Street on the eastern bank of the Muskingum River. The $14 million, 29,000 square foot facility will be constructed in 2 phases over 2 years, and that's down Marietta Way.
Pickaway County Chamber of Commerce has an opening on their board of directors, and if you're interested in being on the Pickaway County Chamber of Commerce board, submit your application by May 15th. Send an application to S. McDowell, that's MacDowell, at pickawaychamber.com. They've also had an opening for the executive director. It's my understanding that one has been selected, but they have not announced who that's going to be yet.
Gotcha.
I have insider information. I would have to kill you and there's too many people to kill if I told you who it was right now, because I would be killed.
Well, they are off and running on Bridge Street.
Yes.
Safety improvement project. It's been talked about for 2 years. This is going to be a 2-year project in 2 phases. That'll improve interchanges, intersections, lighting, traffic control, and pedestrian facilities on North Bridge Street in Chillicothe, and it got underway this morning. At least 1 lane will be maintained in each direction on the bridge over the Scioto River.
And I'm hearing that you can turn left into Shawnee Square now as well if you're going north. So that's one of the things that they were doing to help ease the traffic. Okay. So I'm surprised they don't have a traffic cop there directing things. That would be a popular spot today.
Oh, yeah.
Certainly so. All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports, and still to come, this state in history. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. 740-253-8389 is the number to call if you would like a dumpster brought to your business or your home, or maybe a spot that you're just doing some cleanup. You need a dumpster for that. 740-253-8389. Give Scioto Valley Dumpsters a call. Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
I'm a busy woman, and I'm not ready to slow down.
Tiffany's hip pain was interfering with her career and active lifestyle until she came to the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute.
Dr. Meshbach told me about same-day surgery. I said, I want it now, and I wanted it yesterday.
After a successful procedure, Tiffany was home the very same day and on her way back to enjoying the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
It's still going on. The spring sales event at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. You can find new riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. Walk-behind push mowers, those are, and I guess we kind of throw push out because you don't have to push, because a lot of these are motorized. $399.99. New chainsaws starting at $279.99. New blowers starting at $199.99, and new trimmers starting at $229.99. Hurry in to get the best selection at these prices. These items aren't going to last long. Hometown Motors is your store for the outdoors. Time for sports.
Yeah, well, we have some SVC baseball scheduled for Litter Media Radio this afternoon, weather permitting. If we get it off the ground, it'll be a battle of conference unbeatens and longtime rivals, Zane Trace at Unioto. Airtime at 5 o'clock. First pitch is 5:15. However, the weatherman has something to say about this. If the game were to be rained out or suspended, they would play it tomorrow at the same time, and yes, we would come back for tomorrow's game.
I'm going out on a limb, predicting just light rain. Then after the game's done, then it'll pour down.
Yeah, well.
Hopefully it'll wait till you get to your car.
Yeah, hopefully you're right, yeah. That field does drain pretty well out there. High school action over the weekend, a lot of non-conference games. Very few league action. One of them, the exceptions, baseball, MSL Buckeye. Amanda Clear Creek knocked off Circleville by a score of 4-3. A number of split doubleheaders, traditional doubleheaders. You can see the traditional doubleheaders there. McLean swept Paint Valley. You see Wheelersburg over Central Crossing. That's an impressive win. Lancaster, they are undefeated in baseball. They are 9-0, and I think their softball team is as good as the baseball team. Speaking of softball, flipping over there, you've got non-conference action. A lot of winners there. Circleville beat Zane Trace. Hillsborough took a doubleheader. Notre Dame wins a doubleheader, and River Valley split one there with South Webster. Portsmouth Clay sweeps a doubleheader. Bloom Carroll, I believe they're still undefeated in softball. They may be the one to watch in the Mid-State League Buckeye this year in softball. And in boys tennis, Chillicothe continues to roll as they shut out Circleville 5-0.
Huntington's high school senior Allie Baker has committed to play college basketball for Alice Lloyd College next season. Now, keep this in mind. Alice Lloyd College plays Rio Grande and Ohio Christian University, so you get a chance to see her locally as well. Baker was an All-SVC and All-Ohio honoree last season, and her dad, of course, used to be a JV coach at Chillicothe High School back when Jeff Hobbs was the head basketball coach. Waverly's Dallas Downs is the first male wrestler at the school to sign to wrestle in college, off to Otterbein. Why is this significant? Well, because they have already had one and now a second female wrestler signed to play in college as well. Back in February, Waverly's Abby Green committed to Otterbein's women's wrestling program. She finished fourth in her weight class at the state wrestling meet last month. 2020 graduate Abby Montgomery was Waverly's first wrestler to do so in college. And for Downs and Green, This is a first for Otterbein. First time they signed 2 athletes from the same school to their program. So a lot of firsts there for you. Congratulations to the Waverly Tigers. Also, Huntington's youth football program. They've got a camp coming up. National championship quarterback Cardale Jones visiting the camp this July. Jones had perhaps the greatest 3-game stretch, winning the bowl games and the national championship game. He threw for like 1,600 yards in those 3 games, something like that. Well, he's going to be part of this and helping to lead the Buckeyes to their 8th national championship. And so that's coming up in July. You can register by the Venmo. Now, I thought we had an image for this. Apparently we don't, huh?
Nope.
We don't have that.
I got no image from Mike Smith for this story.
Dan Ramey sent this one out.
Yeah.
Well, I did not get it.
So at any rate, we've shared it on our Facebook page, so you'll be able to check it there as well. But registration is $20, and it's going to be a lot of fun for the kids. It's just a 2-day camp, and it's really cool. And with Sam Beeler's ties to Ohio State, he was able to be able to get his hands on Cardale and say, come on down to Huntington Township. And maybe you'll stay for a while. Who knows?
Maybe. Hey, I get to talk about a red sweep over the weekend. They took 3 from the Pittsburgh Pirates, so wrapped it up yesterday with a 4-0 win. Hunter Green, he is lights out this season. Great effort by the Redlegs. A sad note from Reds country, Reds Hall of Fame second baseman Tommy Helms passed away at age 83. 8 of Tommy's 14 Major League Baseball seasons were spent with what was the beginning of what we know as the Big Red Machine.
What was missing from that Reds sweep was Hunter Green's performance yesterday. 7 innings. He is 2-1 on the season. The Reds are now 8-8, but for Hunter Green, he has a .98 ERA right now. Mm-hmm. Very cool. 2 hits, 8 strikeouts in the performance yesterday. They will start a 3-game set with the Seattle Mariners tomorrow down in Cincinnati, and the Guardians suffered a loss yesterday, falling 4-2 to the Royals. They'll open up a set in Baltimore starting tomorrow.
Columbus Blue Jackets hanging on. Well, they're hanging on by the skin of their teeth. They won twice in as many days over the Capitals out of Washington, 7-0 and 4-1. Montreal had a tie in overtime, so they gained a point. So here's the scenario moving forward. Both Montreal and Columbus have 2 games each. If Montreal loses one of their last 2 in overtime, the Jackets can still get into the playoffs if they win both of their games in regulation.
Canadiens play the Blackhawks tonight, so it could happen as early as tonight. And the Blue Jackets skate at Philadelphia tomorrow night. So we'll see what happens.
They're probably going back in that 6-game losing skid they had about a month ago and kicking themselves, thinking, man, if we'd have just won maybe 1 or 2 of those.
And they had 9 ties this year. If they would have won just one of those, it would have made a difference.
And a big deal on the Masters golf course. So the Cavs, that game finished the regular season, but it doesn't mean anything. Their playoff position stays the same, and that gets underway this week. Rory McIlroy of Northern Ireland won the Masters in a playoff against Justin Rose to complete golf's grand slam of winning all 4 of the major tournaments in his career. Now, we're not saying that he won the traditional grand slam of 4 majors in a season, but they call it a career grand slam, or the grand slam for your career if you have won all 4 of those majors at some point. And this was the last installment for him to win the Masters. He was pretty excited about that yesterday.
As well he should be.
He was the one that in the practice round with their kids.
It was his daughter.
That he sunk a putt.
And she just tapped it. And she tapped it wrong. It went off the club. Because I don't think she was using a putter. It looked like it was a club. And it just kind of did this little skid thing, but then it just found its way and then rolled right into the cup. It was pretty cool.
Maybe an omen. Yes.
And she was kind of embarrassed by it all. Imagine, I don't know how many thousands of people were watching that at that time, but it was something to see.
I think they said her name is Poppy.
Yes, Poppy. And
he mentioned her in the speech yesterday.
Her sister was just excited. She was picking her up and everything, and then she's like, Daddy, I'm scared.
Yeah.
And then Dad saw tears yesterday after winning it all. Coming up, this date in history, our nation cried.
Yes.
On this date as well. We'll explain in just a moment.
There's no bill when there's a fill. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about our metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
And a note for those of you that visit McDonald's on Western Avenue, I have it here on this little piece of message that was left in my McDonald's bag.
It starts out, Dear Dan.
Yeah. Would you please read this on your program? Breakfast with the Easter Bunny and Grimace this Saturday at the McDonald's on Western Avenue, 9 a.m. till 11 a.m. 2 hours with the Grimace and the Easter Bunny.
That ought to be interesting.
Yes. And I have a feeling the Grimace is going to be there in Grimace form, not in the Minecraft Grimace form, which is kind of... It startles you if you see it for the first time. All right, time for this date in history. We go back to
1865. The Civil War has already ended. The president goes out for a leisurely evening with Mrs. Lincoln to Ford's Theater, but it turned into tragedy. Assassin actor John Wilkes Booth assassinates President Lincoln. He died early the next morning. Of course, Booth was a sympathizer to the Confederacy, and he was later caught in a barn, I think in Maryland, and he was fatally shot. But as Dan said earlier, the nation wept on this date in 1865.
And Ohioans got to pay their respects because Lincoln was in state at the State House, right?
Correct, yeah. The funeral train on the way to Springfield, where he was finally laid to rest. It stopped in a number of cities, but yes, Columbus, Ohio was one of them.
Yeah. All right, that's a look for today's program here on Litter Media Live. Back at it again tomorrow. We've got a special guest, and that's the mayor, right?
Yeah, Mayor Feeney will be in for his monthly visit, and that's coming in at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning.
All right, and then we'll have this regular program as well to follow at 11 o'clock. So enjoy the rest of your day. Listen for Litter Media Radio later this afternoon. About 5 o'clock, Mike Smith will be letting you know if it's raining or not.
A weather forecast from Unioto High School, yeah.
Yeah, want to make sure he was crossing his fingers for those of you that weren't watching closely.
Yeah.
That's a look at today's program. For Aaron Glandon and Mike Smith, I'm Dan Ramey.